Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We're back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys, on my day off. And today I will be talking about the latest Boadicea the Vicrorious fragrance. This is the one that a lot of people are really curious about as a fan of the house and a fan of the brand and all the previous perfumes that I have reviewed. I mean, I was truly excited to get this. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 25K. We are getting there. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 800 no hype videos. And just FYI, there are these new AI generated affiliated links on the website. So if you decide to purchase anything on those affiliate links, it does help the channel greatly. So if you do that, thank you so much. Thank you for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than the latest Boadicea the Vicrorious fragrance. This is none other than Boadicea the Vicrorious Opal. Yes, Boadicea the Vicrorious Opal. And this fragrance right here is part of their yearly series where they have the Zodiac series. I mean, some people are calling it the Zodiac series, but every single year, Boadicea releases an animal-themed fragrance based on the year or Chinese year, Chinese Zodiac. And for this year, 2025, it is the snake, year of the snake. So this is a snake-themed bottle. Amazing looking bottle right here. And this sample was very expensive. Came all the way from UK, and I do want to thank one of our friends, Terrence Span, one of the friends of the channel, member of the We Smell Victorious channel, for actually helping me procure this fragrance. So thank you, Terrence. So this fragrance right here is very, very interesting. It stoked my curiosity to the max because, as y'all know, this is the post-Christian Provenzano era, all right? And Christian Provenzano was, you can say, the predominant perfumer of Boadicea, made so many perfumes in the past and garnered, you know, basically the fan base that is here right now. And he's gone. And so this is now post-Provenzano. This is now a different era of new perfumes. And I gotta say that out of the three that have came out after Provenzano, this is probably the one that I was the most curious about. I mean, if you look at Defender, not bad. It's an okay perfume. I reviewed it, but it still had remnants or traces of Bodacious and other cherry fragrances in Defender. And I also got to try Decadence, which is more expensive than this, $1,500. And I gotta say, spoiler, this is spoiler ahead of time, that I was pretty disappointed with Decadence, all right? So this was the last one right here. So I was like, man, I hope that, post-Provenzano, Boadicea can turn things around and give me a really great fragrance, which is right here, Opal, hopefully. Anyways, I got the goods. I'll tell you guys exactly what this smells like and my thoughts. Can't wait to tell you all about it. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest Boadicea the Vicrorious fragrance, Opal, guys, starting with this opening. And the thing about Opal, guys, is that it has so many different notes. I mean, really different notes that if you're somebody that understands like simple formulations and such, it would be very hard to even fathom or think about or imagine what it could be like. I mean, really. So that's one of those things that made me really curious. And I wanted to know if this fragrance would actually match the concept of the snake. That's another thing, because all the previous Boadicea animal fragrances did not actually match the animals. They were actually independently, independent concepts of their perfumes in the execution. But this one right here, Opal, oh my God, this opening right here, I would say the key word is differentiation. And that word, you will hear it throughout this review because that's important. That's important when you are selling $1,000 perfume, especially at these times of inflation, guys, because people that would actually spend $1,000 on a perfume want differentiation. And differentiation is what will greet you here at the opening of Opal, guys. You will first and foremost get a dark damask rose, okay? It's a dark damask rose mixed in with a little bit of incense, mixed in with a lot of black pepper. and it comes in very, very dark from the get-go. So it's not one of those like rosy Boadiceas. And then this dark rose, which has pepper and a little bit of incense, is also flanked by a very prominent green bay leaf note. Okay, so you have a green bay leaf note that has kind of like a smell of oregano and thyme, really green and herbal, that mixes in. It's a prominent one. And I would say that even the dark rose combination plus the bay leaf creates something very different. And on top of that, you have metallic notes that flank this opening as well. And these metallic notes, just by smelling it, I mean, I got some bergamot, I got some neroli, I got some musks. And that, again, changes the dynamic. It really, to me, gave me a reptilian type intro because the green is here and it's dark and it's like metallic cold because of those metallic notes. And so I was pretty impressed. And the first thing I thought was, Boadicea has fans that are only fans because they're only fans because they like the mainstream side of Boadicea, and that is absolutely true. Boadicea has made, clones of mainstream popular fragrances. They enhanced them, and that's the reason why there's another set of fans of Boadicea. But there are also those fans that are willing to spend upwards of $1,000 for a fragrance that is truly differentiated. And I can tell you guys straight up that that is exactly what it is here. Very differentiated. It is a dark damask rose, incense, pepper combination, very dark to begin with, flanked with metallic cool notes and a very prominent green note. So I would say that this intro really is matching the $1,000 concept, the differentiation, and the specialized bottle of this latest Boadicea fragrance. Okay, now let's talk about initial sillage and projection on this one. I gotta say that this fragrance right here, just like many Boadiceas, is pretty strong. Okay, that is one thing that you can expect from a Boadicea. I mean, can you imagine full bottle, strong sprayer? I mean, with this one right here, just a couple sprays on my neck created basically an aura scent, really strong lingering scent with a scent trail. And of course, it also has prominent comforting properties. So again, no problems here, guys, on the sillage and projection of Opal. It's quite excellent. Okay, now let's head into the mid of Boadicea the Vicrorious Opal. Now, the thing about this first part, which is kind of differentiated, like I said, and it is a grower to me, I started liking it even more. I like this kind of like churchy dark damask rose with the metallic notes and the greenness. I really liked it, to be honest. It's very, very different from anything else that I've smelled. But as you head into the mid, you will actually get a balance. You will get a taste or smell rather of a lot of sweet comforting notes. And this is where you get your cinnamon, your coffee, your cocoa, your orris, as well as your nutmeg. These actually bridge into the mid because a lot of the differentiated smells of the opening don't really last past an hour. And pretty much the rosiness even gets weaker past an hour, goes into geranium into the mid. But mostly what you'll see is you'll have a lot of mainstream likable, comforting sweet notes, like I said, cinnamon, nutmeg, cocoa, coffee, go into the body of the mid of this fragrance right here. Now, also, I will say that although these notes are different, you have a continuum from the intro because you will still get a cutting green note or a set of cutting green notes, one of which is Davana. So you have Davana here with some green, herbaceous, woody nature right here in the mid, and then you will have your lavender, you will have your clary sage, strong, aromatic green notes that really cut through those sweet notes. Those sweet comforting notes that we all love are going to get cut through by the greenness. And again, this is the same format as the green reptilian intro with the bay leaf. So that is something to expect right here, that right after this differentiated intro, it goes into sweet, warming, likable, mainstream likable, and then you will still get the cutting aromas of the green notes right here in the mid. Now this mid right here with the appearance of a cutting note of lavender and clary sage felt masculine to me. And the opening is more of like an artisan connoisseur style like intro, very unisex, I expect somebody someday will say that it smells pretty grandma-ish because of the dark rose, like churchy elements in the intro, okay? But there is the balance of metallic notes. But to me, the mid was more masculine. So for the guys that are actually trying this out, I think that you guys will like the mid, okay? Very familiar sweet elements, cocoa, coffee, cinnamon, nutmeg, but with your classic lavender and clary sage aromatic elements that's usually in a lot of gent scents. So I like this mid as well. Okay, so now let's head into the dry down of Boadicea the Vicrorious Opal. And one of the questions you probably might ask is, how long is the rosy coverage? I would say up to 6 hours, but there's a clear difference between the initial rose that's fused in with your incense and black pepper and flanked by metallic notes. That whole like churchy rose vibe is quite different from the mid rose, which is mostly really geranium that has rosy and green aspects to really match with the greenness of the mid right there. But I would say total rosiness, total overall rosiness is up to 6 hours. Now past 6 hours is basically your typical Boadicea comforting type of dry down, guys. You will get cashmere wood, you're gonna get musk, you're gonna get comforting halite tonka bean, you will get all these notes, sandalwood towards the end, and probably the only thing that's cutting it and really following the trend of this whole perfume is the oak moss. You will still get a little bit of green oak moss that stands out here towards the end, but nevertheless, it's sweet, it's comforting, it's cashmere, it's suede. All those things are really creating a very comforting dry down for the wearer. Typical Boadicea style, nothing groundbreaking, but great for the wearer. And with all that being said, what do I think of Boadicea the Vicrorious Opal? Oh my gosh, I gotta say, I like this scent. This is probably the one post-Provenzano out of the three that I will say is a legit, like it really encompasses the character of Boadicea the Vicrorious versus, you know, the other one, Defender, that smelled kind of like an offshoot of Bodacious. And like I said, Decadence really, I didn't like Decadence, okay? This one right here is a true Boadicea in the sense that it's about differentiation. It's about smelling what you pay for, which is $1,000. I mean, at that point, you are not just buying perfume to smell good. It's differentiation. It's sophistication. It's being a connoisseur, an artisan, being different from most other people. And some people will pay that premium to do that. Okay, and this is the premium that goes into Opal, guys. I really think that this is that fragrance. Now, of course, because part of the Boadicea fans population, they like mainstream perfumes like Neiman Marcus or Powerful and other, you know, fragrances, what Champion. Those fans might not, you know, immediately like this, but if you're open to trying out true niche, true, you know, differentiation perfumes, I think you should look into this as well, because pretty much you're almost paying the same amount for these mainstream bottles that are easy to understand. But this to me is a true Boadicea. And this fragrance is the first to me that actually matched the animals, you know, like it really did, because you have a prominent cutting green note plus the cooler metallic notes in the intro gave me that reptilian feel, all right? So this is the first that ever did that. Hanuman was basically Baldia Freak, right? Orica, mainstream lovable. Taurus, which was supposed to be, or I thought it was going to be like some masculine, hard-charging perfume, was a champagne perfume, you know? And Tiger was what? Tigar, and Dragon was, you know, it wasn't really fiery, but it was another like perfume that was kind of like a mix of really good elements. But this one right here, straight up, is the most snake-like. I mean, it's very matched, I would say almost as good as how Zoologist does it. So I really like how they took that into consideration, and they put some green cold elements here to make it really smell like a snake-themed fragrance. So kudos to the perfumer of this fragrance. Now, usage-wise, this fragrance to me, like I said, is a differentiator scent. So I would say this is upscale grabber to special occasions. This is not a simple grab, but you should wear this when you want to smell different. Maybe this is your promotion as a CEO of the company, or you're out there in an art gallery putting a huge donation, right? Wear something like this. This is definitely something that I would say a statesman or, you know, an artisan or a connoisseur would wear, and it matches the price that you paid. That is for sure. And definitely this fragrance is a nighttime fall winter fragrance. All right, this one has a lot of the comforting, warming elements really from start to finish. Starts off with a very dark damask rose. So this is definitely going to be a nighttime cool weather perfume. And to me, it is also very unisex. And total performance, guys, this fragrance, of course, as expected, went over 12 hours. That has never been a problem with Boadicea fragrances. You get what you pay for. They would never put out a fragrance that is weak or dying like Tom Ford. You know, Boadicea fragrances are quite potent. This is quite potent as well, past 12 hours on the performance. And finally, let's look at the cost of this fragrance. Is it worth a full bottle of this fragrance? Gladly, I know, I'm happy that this is not like $2,000. It's actually $1,000, which matches all the previous like zodiac sign animal themed Boadicea releases, but it's not like 1,500 like Decadence. And Decadence, I gotta say, was not up to par. Okay, there were no original concepts in Decadence. It actually didn't smell as good, and they charged a lot more for that. So I felt like Decadence was more of a cash grab. But this one right here, this is not, okay? You can tell when you wear this perfume that they put in the effort and the concept making, the concept building to make something really good. And I will say this, that this is probably the turnaround fragrance from Boadicea this year, and I hope that they really make more of things like these, because really at the end of it, yes, there are fans of Boadicea that love the mainstream stuff, but the thing that got me into Boadicea was the sophistication. Because if I just wanted perfumes that were rosy and aquatic and were like, you know, Baldia Freak, like I could have just gone that route. It would have saved me thousands of dollars. But that's not the reason why, you know, I wanted to try Legend and Valiant and Carbon Sapphire. It's because of that differentiation, that sophistication, which is to me like really the main strong point of the brand. And hopefully they don't lose that. And I think that this fragrance is one of those that will keep that, you know, that lineage intact of sophisticated, expensive perfumes. I think it is worth a full bottle, but try it first, of course. Very expensive sample though, but try it first if you're willing to try differentiated, sophisticated niche perfumes. This is where Opal comes in. And that is it. That is my no hype review on the latest Boadicea the Vicrorious fragrance, Zodiac themed, for the year of the snake, Opal. Guys, let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. I mean, to me, I think a lot of people have not smelled this fragrance, and I implore you to get a sample. Is it blind buy worthy? I think it is. If you know your Boadicea, it's okay to blind buy. And I know one of my friends, Eli, already, you know, posted his feedback on the We Smell Victorious Facebook group, and I think that we're pretty much aligned on that kind of feedback. Really nice, different shaded fragrance right here. Kudos to Boadicea. And again, let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. And I will continue making a lot of these videos on these expensive fragrances, so you guys know what to expect before you put your hard-earned money, $1,000, in these perfumes. So please continue to support the channel. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. God bless. Take care. Peace.